What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast here. How are you doing, Seal?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm just enjoying some of this refreshing Yingling fight brought to you by the Super League of Soccer.
Yeah, well, we
Apparently,
just
I
got
guess.
news that the Super League is no longer. That is,
Well, I
as
saw that
of
there was teams going to thinking about backing out since who the hell is the people who say you can't play in the World Cup? Is it the World Cup people?
the World Cup people. Yeah,
They
and they can't
said
play in
no.
Champions League. UEFA
Yeah.
said that shit.
Well, I already knew that shit was going to start coming out, and they were going to be butthurt about all that stuff.
But then the
But yeah,
players
cool.
can't
Now
play in
West
World
Ham
Cup.
can do. Now West Ham can play Tottenham in the Champions League. And
Right. Well,
all that stuff.
now the Super League has been suspended because all of the European or English teams, all the English teams are out, and Inter Milan is already out as well. I'm sure the only other reason the other guys aren't out yet is because they're asleep. But let's start with that. This was the shortest. We didn't even have time to do an emergency podcast. I'm talking yesterday before 5 p.m. I saw this thing, and now it's already gone. But hey, let's talk about it as if it is still a possibility, which I doubt that it is. But this European Super League was supposed to be like 15 of the best. I mean, all the top Premier League teams, along with AC Milan, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Juventus, all the best people.
Teams who haven't won since 1997, a team who has won in their whole 160-year
they win
career,
Champions League.
But yeah, they deserve it.
You guys were part of it. We were part of it. It was just.
I mean, so when I first saw it, I was like, hell yeah, like that would be awesome. Just going up against the best of the best and being able to show, like, hey guys, like we'll smack anybody. I don't care where you're from. Like Man U's really that good, but we used to be, not lately. But this year we've been doing good, so I was pretty excited for it. Like we're back on the up and up. And then I thought a lot of the people over the pond were like, who in the hell? I can't even do it. That was more country than
that
anything.
Was not over the pond at all.
But who the hell decided these are the best teams? And I started going through. That'd be like somebody trying to say the Redskins. I mean, they're back on the up and up.
That's
but
not
they
even true. What team are you calling out? What team do you say is shit?
Liverpool. Let's go there.
Liverpool just won the championship.
Exactly.
Literally last year.
Yeah, exactly. But how are they one of the best 15 teams in all of this shit?
They have the most of all time. They're literally the worst one you could have called out.
They ain't done shit.
They have the most of all time, and they won last year. Man City is a brand new good team. They, in history, have not been amazing. You guys, of course, are amazing. We're amazing. Like Liverpool.
Yeah, Man City. So that thing on Netflix, that relegation soccer team, when they got relegated twice.
Sunderland.
That's where Man City used to be way back in the day.
They probably took Sunderland's spot.
98, 99. Like they were just chilling down, and not the one under. It was the one under that.
Yeah.
Like the third one down.
Liverpool, United, Arsenal. I guess you can give Chelsea, but Chelsea's, I think, on a lower tier than us three. And then the Juventus, of course, always wins, but they play Italy. And I think that's the main reason that these other teams, I don't think it was even the English Premier League teams, other than just for money, but I think it's the Italian league teams, the Spanish league teams, the French league teams that are saying, and the German league teams would have been, but Bayern and Dortmund both said, fuck that. We're out from the very beginning. But I think it was those leagues that are saying, we don't want to be looked at as a lesser league than the English Premier League. So that's kind of the conversation that I thought got sparked up. Is the English Premier League that much better than all these other ones to where they need to try to match up outside of the Champions League?
I mean, they have bigger balls. Like it's more top heavy. I mean, there's more of a top on the top heaviness.
Yeah, for sure.
What does La Liga have?
The top is bigger.
Yeah, there's two teams that could probably go up against the sixth best team in the Premier League, which is still one of the best teams. And
Italy has, I think, 3 good teams.
Yeah, and it's usually if you're a betting man, you're probably going to bet on the EPL coming out as the winner of the champions more times than not, just because they're stacked up with the 4 of them that get in, and it's hard to knock any of them 4 off. So, yeah, they're definitely the best. I wouldn't say that any league should be like, oh, why do they have so many and why can't we have more than just Juventus?
Right.
But because that's all y'all have, and the Premier League has a lot. It's just I want to know who the hell decided all these teams are, in fact, the Super 15.
Whoever brought money to the table, man. That's what that's what caused it, and that's unfortunate because, like you said, your initial reaction, if you just read the headline, is as a soccer fan, as a fan of these teams, is hell yeah, this is amazing. I want to see these guys. But when you dig a little deeper and see that they were willing to forgo everything to just play these guys, and you're like, oh, that's not pure. That's not how soccer is supposed to be. And so I'm kind of glad that the fans stepped up. Did you see those Chelsea fans that were just blocking everything, blocking the road? They didn't allow the players to get onto the bus. So Chelsea was the first to pull out and started a wave. So I hate Chelsea. As an Arsenal fan, I am completely against Chelsea, but those fans stepped up today and they said, fuck this. You're not even getting on the bus. We will take a forfeit. We don't give a shit because we're true fans and we love soccer. So I did see some signs for Arsenal fans that were against it. So I was kind of happy about that. LAFC, for what it's worth, I know they're not in any of this. They put out a statement that they are completely against the Super League. So I feel happy to be a fan of the LAFC as well.
Yeah, let's talk about LAFC real quick while we're on the subject of soccer. You want to wait until? Do you have anything else? I mean,
not really. I was just saying, like, fuck the money. Like, these fools are.
The only thing I really got out of it is I want to see JP Morgan or Chase, whichever one wants to hand me a couple $1,000, because if you want to throw $2 billion to start up a fucking league, let me hold like 10 grand.
Right? Yeah, just put something on my lap.
Throw a stimmy in my just throw me a stimmy, Uncle JP. Like, that shit's crazy that a bank who takes all our money and throws interest on it.
They have my money.
They're going to take $2 billion of money that they just have saved away that they're not paying people. They're just tucking away as an entity. That's crazy.
It's our money that they're
has $2 billion that they can use as a company to start a fucking Super League. So yeah, I just want him to hand me a couple thousand.
But yeah, I say go fans. That's really the last thing I have to say is go fans. They stepped up. They said, fuck JP Morgan, fuck Chase. We made these teams the best teams. If they even were the best teams, it was because of us. So shout out to them. But yeah, what do you have about LAFC?
Oh, real quick. And anybody on this side of the pond who thinks they're being stupid, like, oh, what are you talking about? It's money. It's money. Yeah, that's all we as Americans care about. We were about, 60 years old when most of these teams were becoming, like, actual organizations and creating these leagues and stuff. We were babies. Like, we're still babies. But yeah, we were about 60, 70 years old as a country when most of these teams and clubs were becoming teams and clubs. So we just need to calm down and watch what happens, and hopefully the Super League doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's just cool that LAFC was spot on with it. They put it out immediately. They said any fans that are against the Super League, we stand with you. That was a statement they made on their Instagram.
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. But so I guess the VP of the 3252 had recently passed away
from COVID, sadly.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They didn't have any of the thing going on. They were just showing the thing
tifo
during the commercial break. Yeah. Yeah, and then they pulled up the things and all that stuff. So I kind of looked at it. But and then to go out to get a win after a sloppy start, and Vela comes out after 6 minutes, 7 minutes,
something around there, and he was pissed as fuck. We can talk about that.
He just needed the
He needed the magic spray.
Yeah, the gel. They just put some ointment on that.
The MJ's juice. The MJ's juice from Space Jam that they throw on that bitch. No, so yeah. To talk about, man, I wish I had his name up. I forget it right now. It's a Hispanic name. He was one of the drum majors for us. So basically, the supporter section. If you guys watch soccer at all, you understand. There's a supporter section.
The guy, he had his back turned to the game.
There's the people that turn their back to the game. They don't even watch the game. All they do is lead the chants. We have 4 of them at LAFC. He was one of those guys. So he loved soccer so much that he was willing to turn his back on the game to be able to lead these chants from the fans. Amazing guy. I met him once just on the metro after a game. I met him. He's super cool. He's super crazy, super passionate. So I felt it sucked that he left, but I'm glad that the Tifo
Mofacio.
Yeah, Mofacio. I'm glad that the Tifo was there. It was very, very good. Great picture of him. He's looking down on us watching the game, and the team stepped up. They looked good. Rossi wasn't there from the start because he was injured, and I think I'm hoping it was an Austin FC kind of injury, aka this team is not going to beat us. We don't care who's out there. I'm hoping that it was that. I'm hoping that it's not an English team telling them, hey, Rossi better not fucking get hurt. And so we said, all right, we just won't play him. AKA he's about to get sold. So I'm hoping it's not that. I'm hoping it's more of a we can win without him because he's not hurt. I don't have inside info, but
I don't think he's hurt at all either. I'm hoping it's more of a we're not going to try to play you against Austin. More of a you're not going to play until we get you out of here and get something for you. That's what I'm fearing. That's what I'm scared of because it's
very possible because like an Italian team could have called and said you better not hurt this fool, and so they might have said, all right, we're going to put him on the bench. But anyway, we started out really kind of slow, like you said, and Vela got slide tackled or just kind of fell, and it was, I think, just playing it up, doing the soccer thing. And Bob fucking said, no, you were injured last year. I'm not doing this again. Pulled the trigger. He has since admitted that he did wrong. He said, I jumped the gun on that. But do you think they're
even with the body language that he just, I don't know if he was pointing to a trainer saying like this, but he never once said, I need to get out.
Never called the sub. He never did any of that.
But we both watch football, American football. And usually when a guy's doing this, he's running towards the sideline, waving at his replacement, like, bro, get in here. So he wasn't running towards. He was kind of backing off.
Yeah.
And waving on him and kind of stretching it out and never once made.
Well, this is the soccer sub, and he definitely never did that. We saw that Atuesta did that a little later on, and I hope he's fine because he actually did get ripped.
And he had to sit out there for an extra 11 minutes because they're 18
They
minutes
made him stand the fuck up. They were that Austin was pissing me off, dude. So Atuesta gets hurt. The guy comes over there and he's like, hey, like, you need to get up because they thought we were time wasting. That's fair. We probably were in a sense. But Atuesta's like, no, like, I'm legitimately hurt. And the guy was like, well, whatever. So he picks him up anyway. Atuesta hops around like 4 times and falls back on the ground and calls for the sub motion. A second Austin player comes and tries to pick his ass up. It's like, dude, all right, he might actually be hurt. Can you chill a little bit?
Yeah, they'll learn. I mean, that's them being aggressive, trying to put. They were down only 1 at that point. We didn't get the solidifier until
a little later,
89, 88. But so yeah, I mean, they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to come back and tie it up. And yeah, if you don't think that their coaches have been coaching them like they are in their first year, like of ever playing soccer, then you're crazy. I mean, I probably not so much as I'm imagining, but they played a hell of a lot better than any first appearance.
I mean, Miami last year
since LAFC, we haven't lost they're my soccer team now too. Fuck it, I've been rooting them for 2 years.
Yeah, we.
So yeah, we haven't lost a home opener yet, and so that first one and shit, they're not going to play in theirs for 3 more months, which is crazy.
Just tied the record, I guess, the best start for most consecutive season openers for a franchise.
Yeah, season openers.
So we just tied that. Vancouver was the other team. So if we win next season, then we will have the record for the most season openers in a row.
Well, Austin looked good. Shout out to them. Shout out to their coach. He didn't stop yelling that whole damn game.
Yeah.
He kept putting his hair back. I don't know how. I don't think I could ever go with a light colored shirt if I'm doing the button up. How he wasn't tri-colored from stains from the halfway and then the sweat from right now.
I would be for sure.
Woo-wee.
Shout out to Matthew McConaughey putting together a good team.
Yeah.
Getting it done.
He's not the coach, by the way, guys.
He just put the money out.
And now a lot of people are going, hey, babe, you want to watch some soccer? Matt McConaughey sweating on the field.
You'll definitely see Matthew McConaughey about 20 times during their game, though.
And
the same way you see Will Ferrell.
I imagine he'll be doing all the interviews like Will Ferrell was at the first year and just trying to cause a lot of publicity hype with that. But yeah, I love Matthew McConaughey.
I love Matthew McConaughey too. And yeah, that team looked a lot better than Cincinnati. They looked a lot better than Miami. They looked a lot better than a lot of these teams. So shout out to them. I hope they do okay. You know, we're gonna go watch them. I don't want to spoil it, but we have some no scrub stuff going on in Texas. We're going to watch a road Austin FC game along with some other things. So I'm excited about that.
I can't wait for that.
We'll get to see the new stadium, the new Austin Stadium. It's a nice stadium. At least it looks like it. But we have some other special stuff that I'll talk about off air at first. But basically, baseball fans should be very happy with No Scrubs Allowed. True baseball fans, pure baseball fans that hate people beating on trash cans and stuff like that should be very happy because if you can't
Are you going to get Alex Cora fired, bro?
If you can't put 2 and 2 together, we will be in Texas, and people that hate cheating and banging on trash cans will be happy with us. So you guys do the math equations on that, but No Scrubs will be there. But anyways, I don't know. Steele will be there. Still can be there if he wants to be there.
Oh, fuck yeah. You already know.
Me and the honorary photographer, Jake Harden, will be there.
You know how we got to Vegas, baby.
Me and the honorary, I'll talk to you after the podcast, but me and the honorary photographer, Jake Harden, will be there. And we will be giving Houston the business, if you will. We already have
the
tickets.
Airline thing anymore. Sorry, guys. So listen, the reason for all this is other than you guys know we record the day before it comes out, so you can do the math on that. But this weekend was an amazing boxing match. Besides that, it wasn't really amazing. The one good boxing match was the Ben Askren and Jake Paul one that lasted 20 seconds, and it was insanely
At least
awesome.
You got to see real boxing for a minute.
The contact, the one before it was actually, the one before it was two little small guys actually really going at it, beating the shit out of each other, and both of them had a really big chin. This one stopped. Hey,
I like it. It looks like we're in a drum circle or something.
But yeah, so Snoop Dogg literally had to have had about 15 medically filled cigars. He was just smoking the whole time, and they sold over 1 million. Oh, it was insane. And Pete Davidson was incredible, but the whole thing was about cussing, which we already do, and smoking, which I tried to hide. So yeah, just wanted to see if that ups the views now that we cuss.
For what you guys, just for the record, our official podcast studios are in California, and weed is legal here, so we can do.
Oh yeah, and I'm in Florida, and weed's medically legal here,
so.
and I have my card, so I don't know.
So if you guys are in some state that doesn't allow it, I feel sorry for you guys, but
and if her calling on me, Brandon Still, I have my card. I was too lazy to go get it.
But that's not us. So I don't even smoke, but it's still legal if I wanted to. But yeah, so the boxing match was kind of shitty. Jake Paul, at the very least, has established himself as a boxer. Yeah. We know this. We thought this after he beat the fuck out of Nate Robinson, but we were like, we don't know. Well, Ben Askren was an actual fighter. Yes, he was a wrestling base, but he understood fighting. He also got knocked the fuck out. Is it time to take Jake Paul seriously?
It's time to put him in front of a boxer. I like it. I like his strategy because as long as he keeps winning in these they're legal. They are whatever the hell allocated.
Count.
They're counted towards the boxing federation and all that shit. Yeah. So I mean, he's smart. He's going against
3-0, 4-0 now, or whatever he is.
I think 3-0 now. Yeah, 3-0, all by knockouts. I don't know who the first one was before Nate, but
Did he fight MGK? Who was it that fought? Oh, it was his brother that fought MGK, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but I don't know who his first fight was. Shit, I don't care either.
Right.
But yeah, no, he's smart. So apparently his team or Triller, whoever that whole thing that keeps these things going, went after Daniel Cormier. And since he's retired, but even though he's retired, he's still under contract. Like his contract is still there. If he wants to fight, it has to be through this. And apparently Dana White sent a legal letter and all this stuff letting them know about the whole Ben Askren thing, but he let it slide. Like, yeah, he probably got a little money out of it.
Oh, for sure.
But now he's kind of pissed off since they went after DC, but they're smart. They're going to keep taking this kid who's really been a boxer full-time, paying a lot of money to get trained by other boxers full-time to do grapple and wrestle people and who love to be on the ground for 5 seconds and then get to the mat, but not in the way Ben Askren did. And that one there, which a lot of people, UFC fighters, they have to. Yeah, but UFC fighters are usually going up against people who have more than just hands. Like we saw against.
Well, that's what makes this fight different than Nate Robinson, though, is Ben Askren was trained to know how to punch. Yeah. But he has proven he was over the hill. And if you hit him in the face, he's going to drop.
Yeah, and then a lot of people were talking about the Jorge Masvidal got Reese Pieces. And then going on my Marshall.
We'll talk about it. Jorge Masvidal again at the end of this, by the way.
Yeah, but he was 8-1 at that time.
Yeah.
And UFC, he stopped at 8-3. He got those 3 in a row, or 2 in a row, and then just stopped. Smart guy.
He was undefeated when he got into UFC because he was a badass fucking whatever league he was in before.
Yeah, and then he went 8-0. Or no, he went 7-1. Got his ass beat by Masvidal. Tried to come back from it. Got his ass beat again. Now he bye 8-3 in the UFC, which isn't bad. 8-3 is really respectable.
His chin just fell apart, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's not going to fight DC. Jake Paul's not going to fight DC. It's not going to happen. There was another guy that did call out Jake Paul, who is a trained boxer, right? Who is a trained boxer. I don't remember his name, but he boxed the weekend before, or 2 weekends before, or something like that. Whooped that ass. And he said it's time to stop playing the games because he knew Jake Paul was going to win. Do you think it's time to put a real boxer and another like amateur to pro boxer? No, like if you're Jake Paul, I know you said he did things the right way. If you're Jake Paul, is it time to say, you know what, we're taking the next step. We're fighting for real. No, take that money.
Because he just probably made $8 million, yeah, on fighting big name non-boxers. And there's really, I mean, it's sad to say, but name a big name non-boxer who isn't already getting paid $6 million event, because there's only like 2 or 3 of them. So all these other names in boxing aren't going to generate this. What did they have? 1.8 million views or something like that, or something more than that. I think it was way too much for that. But the production, you had Biebs, you had some other people who I don't know, and there
were a lot of music.
Long.
I mean, obviously it was Snoop Dogg's thing. There was a lot of music. Good music, but a lot of music.
They didn't fight until like 12:40.
Yeah, it was supposed to fight at like 11:30, and that took like an hour longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, it was insane. But no, keep going for the money. But because there's no big name real boxers that are going to generate any of that, and that's why they're smart. Keep going for these UFC guys. Now, get another retired guy. Have Khabib, who is really down and able to throw hands with any boxer, really. He has a chin. He can take it, and Khabib smash you with his feet up. I mean, he's way better on the ground than Ben Askren will ever be, and 1,000 times better with his fist than I think Jake Paul will be. So that'd be funny to see.
He would be relatively even with Jake Paul, but I think just the fight experience would be pretty tough. But what about the guy that's about to lose again to Dustin Poirier, who has a boxing match on his career in Conor McGregor? He's not a boxer. He's tried to box. He's an ex-MMA guy. He throws big hands. They're similar height and weight. What about Conor McGregor after he loses to Dustin Poirier? That would be a money grab.
Jake Paul's like 6'1", right? 6 foot. Oh, is he shorter?
I don't know. I don't know how tall Jake Paul is. But Conor's what, like 5'10", 175?
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah, I wouldn't. It's going to happen. I feel like at the end of the day,
that's the big money grab right there. Because
Conor's already walked out, but that's not the next one. I don't think. When was the Nate fight?
Like 6 months ago. But yeah, I mean, Conor has to get through Dustin first, and I think he's going to lose to Dustin. We'll talk about that obviously months from now when it happens. But if he does lose, why not shift back into boxing and say, let me beat the fuck out of this kid that thinks he's good?
That'd be awesome to see. And if I just want all these people to stop accepting this shit. So he's like, you know what, Dana? I'm coming to the UFC too. And then
let him walk.
Oh, you know, Dana would love that shit.
Then he'd call Khabib back. He'd be like, yo, Khabib, you want to show this kid what's real?
Yeah.
Khabib might even say yes to that shit. He might come out of retirement for that and be like, all right.
I hate that he's officially retired. But yeah, I mean, I really do, because we saw there was another boxing video going around over the weekend. And it was the same exact left hook, jab, whatever cross right thing that shit is that they do with the whoop-pow.
Yeah.
And then the same fucking thing that this professional boxer who's been boxing a lot longer, because those guys box in their teens and shit.
Right.
Instead of hanging out playing.
Well, Jake Paul did box in his teens. He just took a break because he was better at YouTube.
Oh.
Like they grew up, both of them grew up as boxers.
Well, they look like it. Like I've seen them on YouTube doing the bounty hunting shit with the one guy who goes and does the bounty hunting, using the Pat Mayo or whatever his name is. And Patty Mayo, I think is his name on there. But no, fuck him. No scrubs allowed, YouTube, baby.
I
But,
think Logan had already had a couple of fights.
Those Paul brothers are fucking.
They're hefty.
Built like butter.
I think Logan was already like 2-1 or 3-1 in amateur boxing before they even went to YouTube. But Jake's obviously a little bit younger and didn't do the stuff yet.
At what point do they fight each other?
That wouldn't make a lot of money, I don't think.
Nah, but everybody would watch it on YouTube. He'd make a lot of money off of YouTube.
They'll do that next time they get fucking arrested for some shit. That'll
The only thing I really do
weeks.
like about these things, like the thing that I get pissed off about, because there's really nowhere to go and rewatch these things.
Right.
Like the UFC, unless you have bought on it and all that stuff, or have ESPN Plus and wait 2 weeks to be able to watch. Not even the replays, just the clips, because you still have to buy it for I think a month after to be able to watch the replays. But you get to watch little mini clips and stuff. But with this one, 2 hours later, the full fucking knockout was on there. It wasn't like on when you watch UFC, it's whoever the winner is jumping on the ring and celebrating real quick. It's like you got to see the and his breathing too, man. That video that was circulating.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. Like his footwork's there, his breathing is there, all the little shit that boxers know and makes Max Kellerman relevant on TV still.
Hey, he's an amazing boxing announcer.
Dude, yeah. And just all the little things that come with boxing, you see that shit in Jake Paul.
So we're talking Jake Paul up now. Like he's a good boxer. We know he's ready for a boxer.
But if his ass ever saw what's his name, Wilder or fucking Tyson.
Well, that's heavyweight. That's
I don't care. He's how much would all right, fucking.
He's like
know.
super middleweight. Maybe.
What's the Johnson? Andrew Johnson?
Anthony Johnson?
Anthony Johnson? Is he heavyweight?
Oh,
too?
and the other guy.
Joshua.
No, Anthony Joshua is heavyweight. Johnson, it might not be Anthony Johnson, but
we're thinking of Mr. America.
The pound for pound leader is not a heavyweight. That's who I'm thinking of. The pound for pound leader was Errol Spence. He's not a heavyweight. He's a little lower.
But yeah,
Bud Johnson. Is it Bud? That's his like nickname or some shit.
You don't even have to be the best. Just somebody who's been boxing and has probably a 28-10 record could smash him in the first round.
Oh, for sure. But that's why he's not fighting those guys.
But most boxers don't try to smash in the first round. It's a 12-round marathon.
Unless you're Mike Tyson.
But
let's shift to the other side. We've talked a lot on Jake Paul. More pride or more encouragement that I ever want to give to Jake Paul. Let's talk the other side. A lot of people are coming out saying this was a dive by Ben Askren. And really, it would have to be by the ref at that point because Ben Askren did get up. He wanted to fight. I don't think it was a dive by Ben Askren. Do you think it was a dive?
Not at all.
He got up. I thought he was ready to fight. I don't really know why the ref stopped him. He was kind of stumbly. But, if I'm the ref, I say, all right, go get punched again, bro, if you want to get up here and fight. Because normally all they make him do is hold their gloves up. If he can hold his gloves up and prove he can defend, the ref normally lets him go. This ref didn't even ask him to hold his gloves up, didn't ask him any of that stuff. And I know it was probably a celebrity ref for some stupid Snoop Dogg shit, but normally you would let a guy keep fighting. He was up after, I think, 6 seconds, and he was ready to go. He looked ready to go.
That's why the ref told him to walk towards him, and he was still kind of wobbly walking towards him. Yeah, he's in the UFC, he's probably gonna fucking go
hold his
beat up.
hands
Just
up.
cover yourself real quick. Yeah, just cover yourself. But
that's what they do in
I don't know,
boxing
he didn't,
too.
But in boxing, you see the hold your things out, and then they do the little thing to see if there's any
they
strength in
wiggle
your
them.
arms.
Yeah,
like if he has any tension and strength in his arms,
Right.
fuck it, he can bring his arms up, let him defend himself. But this guy said,
but he didn't even try that. Yeah, he told him
just
to
told
walk
him to walk to him. I'm trying to see how much Ben Askren made in the UFC, but all it's bringing up is this stupid. Oh, here we go. Career earnings. So it looks like he made about. I'm just gonna do a rough estimate, almost $1 million.
Okay.
For his fights, like the main fights that he actually, the Lawler fight, he got
right
350 plus. The Masvidal fight, ooh, that's weak. Whoo, only a $213,000 payout to get kicked in the face.
Weak. I'll fucking get $213,000 to
yeah,
get
but
kicked
for these guys, and then the Maya fight that he lost to was $263,000. So probably around $900,000 there.
And he probably had another million before when he was in the
Yeah.
ONE FC and all that shit. So
he made $1 million in that night in one fight. So yeah, I would definitely be walking out of there with a smile on my face, and my wife would be wrapped around me for finessing the shit out of them. Babe, I'm gonna take care of you. We're gonna get all the Epsom salt in the world that you need for your bathtubs. We're gonna get your head fixed. Thank you for that, Millie, baby. Like, he's happy as shit. He's never made that much money in a fight, not even close.
So, and he used to have a chin like fucking iron. So, I mean, I hope he took a dive, but I don't think he did. I think he wanted to keep fighting. Honestly, I think it was just the ref that was kind of.
If he took a dive, then that shit was scripted as hell. We're gonna go around for about 20 seconds.
He Michael B. Jordan that shit.
When I double tap my left foot, I'm coming in with the left hook, right jab, and you just dive.
Have you seen the Michael B. Jordan thing where he took the punch in Creed?
Oh, yeah, I've seen. Yeah, probably.
When the Creed guy is just like throwing a punch over and over and over again, and Michael B. Jordan sticks his face in and gets knocked the fuck out.
No.
I've
seen both of them. There's only two, right?
Yeah, but they're like, Michael B. Jordan does his own stunts. Yeah, this dude's just throwing a fucking right hook over and over again, and he's timing it, and he just sticks his face in and gets knocked the fuck out, which is crazy. I would not do that. I would take the Ben Askren fight before I did that stupid stunt double shit, where you just take a punch.
Oh, he wouldn't take it wasn't Michael B. Jordan doing it? Or
it was Michael B. Jordan. That's why they were saying he does his own stunts.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But, like, I'd take the Ben Askren fight before I stood in there and just stick my face in the middle of a hook.
Knowing you're about to get knocked out.
Knowing you're getting knocked
No defense allowed.
No, he just stuck his face in right when the time was coming. He got knocked out. It's crazy you haven't seen that video.
We should record this shit on here and stream it through Twitch one time and see what happens and put chatting on there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can connect Zoom to Twitch. Probably. But anyways, I don't think it was a dive. I think the ref kind of sucked, but whatever. Just doing his job. I just wanted to see the man fight. But let's move on to other sports before we get too long-winded talking about nothing.
It wasn't nothing. It was fun. It brought a little bit of excitement back, and everybody thought Ben Askren, like, that's all you heard was, oh yeah, everybody's about to show this YouTuber what a real fighter is.
I did not. I would have put money on Jake Paul all day long on this fight.
Oh yeah, great odds.
All day long. I think he was still the favorite, but it was still good odds.
No, it was plus 2 something for Jake Paul, like day of. And like minus 140 something.
I wish I was in Vegas. I would have put.
Or no. You're right. I had
he was minus a little bit
backwards,
but it was still good odds.
But
if he's minus 140, that was still good odds.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it wasn't nothing. But Jake Paul is not the newest thing coming up in boxing. Those guys are quiet and going to be in the Olympics coming up.
Don't expect him to be wearing a real belt anytime soon. He's wearing that weird ass fucking orange belt or whatever it is that he puts on the line.
Funny. Let's give you $1 million. Shit, he probably got like 6-7 million from that. And let's give you this $130 belt that we strapped on a shit ton of leather.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move to a sport that more of the viewers care about, and that's football. The draft is coming up. We've already talked about the draft. We don't have too much to talk about in terms of what my team would want or what his team would want, because we know what his team's getting. My team picks 32nd. We don't give a shit what we get.
We either know what we're getting or we know what's going to happen to me. I will be getting life in jail.
Right? No, we know what's going to happen at the number 1 pick. We know it's going to happen for the first few picks. But one thing that was supposed to happen was I think the Cowboys had the number 10 pick, and now they're talking about trading down. So the names I heard were Patrick Surtain Jr. or whatever from Alabama. No, where was he from? Alabama or LSU? Wherever Patrick Surtain Jr. was from.
I think it's
or Horn, I think, was the other guy, another good defensive back. If they trade down, they're talking about trading down to 15. Both of those guys would be gone. So I don't know what sort of package it's talking about, but they were saying they're looking at 15. Would you give up on those two guys to potentially not get the position you need?
If you're the Cowboys, I mean, yeah, they're going to do exactly that, but the fan base is going to continue to be pissed off because now you have a quarterback. They have a really good team. They have pretty much the same team they had 3 years ago when they thought they were going to be able to do something.
You just got to start picking pieces up.
Yeah, and they didn't do shit, and that's because they were losing the games 28-42, 21-35, and just dumb shit like that, letting the other team score, and then their turnovers and all that stuff with Zeke, and then Dak gets hurt and they have backup quarterbacks and all this shit starts happening. But it all starts on defense. When they were big time, they had a good quarterback, which they have. Troy Aikman was a great quarterback. They had a great receiver, which they have. and they had some really good pieces, which they fucking have. And oh yeah, they had prime time in the back of the defense just running shit. So yeah, you need that plug, you need that guy. And for that fan base, this is the year to get that guy, to get the next prime time for that defense to show up and show the fuck out. And I think, is it Horn is the one that returns
JC
kicks
Horn,
too?
the Gamecocks guy. Yeah, he returns kicks.
And he returns the kicks too. So there's your prime time. And oh yeah, he's gonna be able to fucking ball hawk everything that comes back his way. So I mean, if they were to pass up on those guys, then like you told me beforehand when you told me about this, that's utterly stupid of them to do. But that's what the Cowboys do, and Mike McCarthy always fucks it up.
I think Jerry Jones is trying to finesse this draft. I think he's trying to trade down and expect one of them to fall because they're both projected between 10 and 15. But I think the first one that comes off, the second one comes off right after. And you have to be 10. The Cowboys think 10 is too early. I'm not in their room. This is me just speculating. Cowboys think 10 is too early, and they're thinking one of them is going to fall to 15. But I can definitely see a 12 and 13 back-to-back or a 13 and 14 back-to-back, and the Cowboys get nothing. And that would be worst case scenario. Now, if they drop back to 15 and one of them falls and their plan pulls through, then it's perfect. Because either one of those two guys would be amazing. But do you think it's a reach to grab either one of those two guys at 10 or just go ahead and fucking do it? Like you're not getting a piece that's going to start.
I don't think it's a reach at all to grab one of them at 10. But yeah, if they're able to finesse, and the way the league keeps going is offense, and there's a lot of offense in this draft, whether it's the line.
And a lot of quarterbacks are going to be gone. So that takes,
and that eats up a good 5 picks right there. Yeah. And those guys that seem to be up there, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, now Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, those are going to eat up the top 7, 8 picks right there. And then you get Kyle Pitts, whoever the fuck isn't going to get a quarterback.
Devontae Smith.
You're probably going to get one of those linemen. And then you have wide receivers out of this world, a shit ton of defensive tackles. So, yeah, this is a deep-ass draft at the top. After same with every draft. After the 3rd, 4th round, it just seems who shows up and shows out. James Robinson for the Jaguars didn't even get drafted and had 1,400 yards last year. But so that really doesn't always matter. But at the top of the draft, that would be stupid because you would have to expect at 10 that one of them guys would be there. Right. And if they're thinking the way the NFL keeps going with offense, one of them will probably be there at 15 too.
Well, if both are there at 10, I assume both will be there at 10. If both are there at 10, do you start to field calls and say, would you – I don't even know how – obviously, we don't sit in the draft rooms. Do you think they could call some other teams and say, what are you guys interested in? What do you think about this?
So this year, they're all allowed to be in the facilities together. All the personnel. Last year, it was one person doing everything.
Yeah.
And I thought there was going to be a phone from the scouting team, a phone from my GM, a phone from – it didn't really seem like everything was just on the phone, and it seemed like they were talking to 1 or 2 people. There wasn't trades happening and all of that stuff. But this year, everybody is able to be there, in touch with each other. The draft is going to have a place that people are at. So I'm guessing the whole phone in thing is still going on. So there's going to be a lot of communications like we're used to every other draft besides last year. So yeah, I feel like we're going to definitely have those phone, we're waiting on their pick. Oh, we're waiting on their pick. Whoa, the pick has been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals or whoever wants to go ahead at the 10th spot. And that could definitely happen. But if they're both there, hell yeah, that could happen because offense is key right now in these drafts.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not really a Cowboys fan. You're not a Cowboys fan, but you're like a de facto Cowboys fan for one of your best friends. But I hope they go ahead and just grab one of them at 10. I can't imagine that they're going to get a great player if they're also getting pick 15. I don't know what the packages are that are being offered or whatever, but just grab your player. Don't fucking risk shit. Just do it. That's what I hope they do. The Bucks, like I said, we don't have to talk about us. We're going to grab a defensive lineman. I think just whoever's there. If some amazing guy drops that was supposed to be like a 15 to 18 pick and he's somewhere around 32, then we'll take him. But that's not going to happen. You guys are taking Trevor Lawrence. It's not.
The other additional thing with us is we have a plethora of picks in the next 2 years. And so if we're able to package, send away our 26th pick and another pick in the draft and another pick next year, and we'll still probably have 8-9 picks in
to the
each draft.
Patriots.
And whoever it is in the top 15 to go up there and snag another good threat. A lot of people were Mel Kiper saying that we're going to get Tony. I don't see him being down at 26, but being able to trade up
tough.
would be absolutely amazing to be able to get Devontae or
well, see,
Tony,
if Devontae and Tony are both gone, though, then trading down sounds like an amazing thing for you. But 26 is harder to trade. But, so you're thinking package 26 with a second rounder to go up?
Yeah. Or in 2-3 picks. It doesn't matter to me. Go up and get anything better, because we pretty much have a good foundation of what we want. And we have depth from the 7-8 free agent signings that we've already got going. So we're
Tony would be amazing for special teams too.
Oh yeah, for special teams that would be absolutely amazing, and it would free up a lot of space for him and Laviska to be able to just go to work in the slots. To have two of them tears, I had already told you whenever I saw the whole Mel Kiper thing, I wasn't really down for it, but I wouldn't mind it either. But now that the more I think about it, just the way the NFL is, to have the Tyreek and Nicole Hardman kind of thing going on would be stellar.
Yeah, that's what would happen, because the same way that Brady uses two tight ends, that's the way that like Mahomes likes to use like the double slots.
Yeah.
And that's a new thing that's starting basically from the Chiefs, and you guys could definitely do that with DJ your guys.
Chark,
taking the number one guy out.
Yeah.
And then you guys just eat it up. So the last football thing, we'll talk about the draft next week when it happens. We want to be able to recap it because we think we know what's going to happen for like the first 8 picks or so. So we just want to recap it when it happens. But the last football thing I do want to talk about is a shout out to our boy, Jordan Reed, ex-Gator, did his thing. Just like Percy Harvin, just too many injuries, man.
Yeah.
Now he still made an NFL career out of himself, but just too many concussions, could not do it. He did get a ring.
Did he? I thought that was Trey Burton with the Eagles. But did he get a ring too?
Not in the NFL. He got our ring.
Oh, true. No.
I thought he wasn't around for our championship?
No, Jordan Reed was like 2010.
13 was his draft. So, I guess he wouldn't have been around
then. Yeah. But no, that was Trey that got it. The chip with the Eagles. I was thinking Jordan Reed threw it.
Yeah, because Jordan Reed was a Redskin for a long time. Yeah, he couldn't do anything. And now, obviously, the football team wasn't that much better. So, he went to San Francisco to try to give it a shot, and then San Francisco was even worse than Washington. So he was like, oh, well, fuck this. But yeah, shout out to him, man. A great career. Just he would have been a top-level tight end, but just could not stay on the field, and that's unfortunate for him.
And he was always none of his teammates are going to say he was a bad teammate. He was always there, always coaching up, always available, even when his body wouldn't allow him to be on the field. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Shout out to Jordan Reed. I was kind of sad when I saw it, just like with Alex Smith, but due to injuries, you got to kind of expect that shit in today's NFL with Andrew Luck and Luke Kuechly and guys like that. This is going to be the standard. People are going to start worried about their health a lot more when they pay millions of dollars for these doctors to tell them, hey, bro, when you're 40, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah. And talking about that, I actually missed the story. Alex Smith did go ahead and retire. So another shout out to him. All these Washington guys are getting out of here. You were actually looking at him as being a backup, but he decides to retire.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So shout out to Alex Smith. The way that he came back from that injury and made it happen. It wasn't spectacular. Nothing great happened, but he proved that it could be done. And now he can retire and go out into the sunset the way he wanted to.
Yeah, for sure. As a football player, not as a what could have been.
Right.
We all know now that, Alex Smith was a game manager. But at the end of the day, at the end of his career, he was the first overall pick out of Utah, Urban Meyer, shout out.
Yep.
And he didn't really do much, but he brought San Francisco out of the trenches from where they were for a very long time.
Yep.
And because of him, they were able to finesse the deal with Garoppolo. And no, it wasn't Garoppolo. No, it was Kaepernick. They were able to finesse the deal and get Kaepernick there. And then he got traded to the Redskins, and just injury after injury after injury came up and about. And yeah, man, but shout out to him and his comeback to get that team, even whenever he had to come in to manage the game enough to get the dubs with that young talent they have there and get into the playoffs in that scrub-ass division of theirs.
Exactly. Yeah, so shout out to all those guys. And one thing I did want to talk about, because you probably did not watch, I only watched for one reason, and we know the reason, but did you watch the FSU Garnet and Gold game? I did, at least part of it. I watched the first quarter, and we all know the reason. McKenzie Milton, dude came out.
Oh, sorry, I take that back.
Dude came out first drive. Well, he wasn't his first drive. He was like third or fourth drive, but his first drive dominated. He threw, I think he was 4 for 4, had 2 amazing throws. The touchdown was this back shoulder throw off of a rollout to the left. Just looked clean as fuck.
Classic
He looked
McKenzie.
so good. He was moving. It was so cool that I was kind of scared for him. Obviously, it was his first real game action.
We've seen throwing it that high yet.
We've seen him practice. We've seen him do stuff, but the coach called a rollout for him. So he had to move. He had to use that knee. He rolled out to the left, perfect crossbody, or set his feet correctly, and fucking threw a nice back shoulder throw to the touchdown.
Are they trying to correct that at all?
No, he had a couple of those, but but he completes them, so
oh yeah,
who cares? But that's why they have to do the rollout so that he can get away from the line, because he can't get over the line. But he knows what to do. He's been doing that his whole life, and I mean, he looked so good. I was not impressed by any of the Seminoles though, so that was exciting.
Well, yeah, and that's why the perfect spot for him to go to.
Yeah.
We know he's a fighter. We know he's a hard worker, and his football IQ, he's going to be a coach. The day he's out of college, we know he's not going to
heading to Nebraska to coach.
Yeah, he's going to go coach. He's going to go make $100,000 a year to go coach until his day comes to be a head coach, and we all root for whatever team he coaches for.
He's going to go be a QB coach at Nebraska or wherever Scott Frost is whenever the time comes. And then he'll move on to the OC, and then he'll be a head coach. And be good to go.
For sure. Absolutely. I can definitely see that for him. But he's smart as shit, and he has heart. And what better team than a team who cannot get any kind of, what are they called, recruits in there that worth the shit out of Florida. They either go to Florida now, they go to Miami, they go to UCF, or they get the fuck out of Florida.
And in the Panhandle, they go to LSU. So, they just get away. And FSU has nothing. So I just wanted to say, shout
out Jimbo for that. Thank you, Jimbo.
I'm still not cheering for FSU. I won't cheer for FSU, but he definitely looked like the best QB on the first. I only watched the first quarter, but he looked like the best QB out there, and that was exciting. The other QBs made the defense look like it was the fucking number one defense in the world. And I don't know if it's the number one defense in the world or if the QBs are that bad. But McKenzie picked them apart like it was fucking nothing. So anyways, what other stories do we have? We don't really have much. The basketball world is the exact same as it was last week. And
the Red Sox, shout out Red Sox.
First Red Sox and Dodgers are still doing their thing.
Drop both games in our doubleheader, but I think we've actually been doing decent since we beat them in the White Sox in our one game on Saturday, but we had to do a makeup game from Friday as our doubleheader on Sunday, and we dropped both of those.
Yeah.
But
the Dodgers haven't lost a series yet. We play tomorrow for the series finale of Seattle. It's 1-1, so we need to win that, but we haven't dropped a series yet. I don't want to talk about the umps because I'm sure you weren't watching, but the umps during that San Diego Padres series they looked like MLB The Show 21 umps, dude. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, no, shout out to us. Shout out to you guys. Oh, keep going with it. Tell us.
No, there was one. So just to bring it up, Profar, Jurickson Profar, or whatever his name is. Kershaw was pitching, and dude, no lie, one hand swung to hit the catcher, and the ump called catcher interference. They reviewed it, gave catcher interference. Dude went. It was a 3-2 pitch. It would have been a strikeout, but he was swinging and let go to reach and hit the glove of the catcher. Kershaw was fucking flipped. But shout out to Dave Roberts, because Kershaw was flipping. Dave Roberts came out there and basically got himself ejected so that Kershaw could go continue pitching because it was only the third inning. So shout out. That's what a good manager does.
Did you see? I don't know what game it was, but a pitcher, dude was sitting there. It was like overtime or ninth inning, and they ended up winning off of it. Oh, extra inning or ninth inning, and
fuck that guy. Oh
and
my
he
god,
just
when
sat
he
there
just leaned in.
He just sat there and leaned in, and boop,
yeah.
And the ump said, hit.
Yep.
He wouldn't.
He
call
definitely
out.
got hit, but
he wouldn't call out and then said, hit. Take a base.
Dude definitely got hit,
over.
but he did not move
fuck?
at all. I think it was a Mets guy, right? He did not move at all. He didn't really lean in either. He just stood there.
And just with the fact of how in tradition they want to keep it and only allow replay and this and that and that and that, it's really going to end up screwing the game over. And we all have came to an agreement that it's hard to be an ump. I want to give them the utmost respect in the world first, but you still suck. And at most times, it used to be, we thought 80% of the time, 90% of the time, these umps were absolutely right.
Right.
Now it seems with all these camera angles and all this stuff, and we're able to go back and see 1,000 different angles, and they're able just to see this through a mask and all this shit. And like with the bang bang Angels, was it the Angels or
when the dude didn't touch the home plate?
Yeah, he barely lipped off of it, but the ump really couldn't see it that much, and that they replayed it and they still called it safe.
But see, that's the problem is the replay. This is where NBA was though. Remember 3 years ago when every replay was backing the refs? Right now, every replay is backing the umps, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. And I think that's just a pride thing. I think the umps are saying like, nah, we're right, bro. We're going to defend ourselves. And that's what the NBA did. And now 2 years later, 3 years later, whatever it is, the NBA is better. They're doing better for the replays. So hopefully it gets that way.
And now it's just to make the game right, to make the game better. It doesn't even take that long, I feel like, anymore. You go to the review,
they do pretty good.
Then the announcers talk for 5 seconds and like, oh, here he is. And we have a technical foul on James Harden because his beard is too long.
Did you hear the guy that was fucking theatrics, bro?
No.
In the NBA? It was the Pelicans versus the Knicks. And it was near the end of the game. And he comes up and he goes, after reviewing the play, the call on the field was confirmed. And Marv Albert or whoever it was like, he knows he's in Madison Square Garden right now. It was hilarious. He like paused for real. He goes, the play was, and he stood back. Confirmed. Hilarious, dude. It was so good.
That's so stupid.
It was great. I love it. But yeah, I hope that baseball ends up there too, because fans are starting to check out. It's sad because I love baseball. Baseball is still my favorite sport to go to with friends live. Because you get that social aspect, you get to drink, you get to eat some stuff.
See, it's hard for me, dude. It's hard for me.
Well, see, if I go to a faster-paced game, I ignore my friends. I have to watch the game.
Baseball stadiums, the ones I've been to, the one national or whatever, the fucking major league one I went to, the Braves one, the new SunTrust, whatever.
Oh, nice.
Stadium. It was fucking huge. So it'd probably be the same as football games. I drink a little bit before, I hydrate, and I trickle in drinking, and then I get hammered after the games because I don't feel like walking 8 miles that way
for a $22 beer.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying $28 because there's a guy with a smaller beer saying, "Beer, got your beer here for $6 more," and it's a smaller beer. I'm not doing it. So but at the minor league Jacksonville Suns or now
Jumbo Shrimp.
They
so stupid.
Yeah, it's right there. And down here you pay $20 and you get free hot dogs, free sodas, and you can get your beer.
Yeah, but it's social, bro. It's fun. It's better. It's better than like soccer. I have to be locked in for 45 and 45. You can't stop. True. And like to go with a party of like a 6 pod, say like get 6 tickets, go get a Dodger dog, get some beers, get some $22 fucking LA blondes. Those Dodger blondes are really good, by the way. They probably don't have them on the East Coast, but they're called Dodger blondes. They're made by the brewery that's like in the Dodger Stadium or right next door, but they're really good. But yeah, to be able to be with friends and then you only have to pay attention when certain people are up. It's awesome.
That fucking Iron City light beer was really fucking good in Pittsburgh. Only good thing family was great, but that
Wait
place
till
is
you come
shit.
out here to see me, dog. We got so many good breweries. It's next level. It's so good out here. There's a lot of good breweries out here.
Levels to this shit. Yeah,
Denver has really
there's
good breweries, but we're like right there.
Florida has good ones, but it's not like over there how you can literally go within a 5 mile radius to 5, 6 different breweries. How it is over there, and we go to
Yeah,
San
but
Francisco and do
90% of
breweries
them
and-
are all IPAs. I don't take them seriously. But there's a
Yeah,
few that are real breweries.
I don't mess with IPAs at all. But yeah, no, there's like one in Tequesta, there's one in Boynton. There used to be one down the road, but I don't think it's there anymore.
You guys will come out here eventually. I'll show you guys some good breweries.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a good time. So that's pretty much all the sports, but we do have one other thing that Seal just kind of revealed because he sat back a little bit. The Black Lives Matter movement. We're still here. We're a day after the trial finally ended. Seal, I'm gonna let you end this thing up. But we got a guilty verdict. It's great. It's awesome. Obviously, it's not the end of the world yet, or the end of the movement yet.
Yeah.
But Seal, let us out on here.
For sure. And it sucks and it's sad because at the end of the day, George Floyd and many other victims to this stuff is they're not here.
They're not here.
It doesn't bring them back. Their memories do live on. It does come back to the front line of social media and news outlets and stuff like that. And that's really what the whole spark of this whole thing was last May, was to get the voice out there, make the voices be heard, and not through shit like's going on in Minnesota where stuff's being destroyed. It's your voices. Your voices are what matters. People going in and defending their right to bear arms as a law-abiding citizen, not as a white person, not as a black person, but as a law-abiding citizen, which is the majority of people here in America. And so I'm very happy with the verdict. I'm very happy that hopefully this does start a pattern of successfully getting these clowns. And I'm not talking about all cops. I'm talking about maybe the 1-2% of bad cops out there, that they are held accountable just like we would be if we were to do any of these malicious acts out. So yeah, shout out to the justice system. Hopefully this does start a curve towards the right way of going, and this accountability will make these people think twice with their actions and pull out their taser or whatever it may be and take that extra effort in saving a life and putting them behind bars for whatever they may have done wrong, instead of just ending their life and end of the day and do paperwork for the next couple of days and have to go on leave because you know you're not going to get charged with all this and it's going to blow away. No, you're probably going to go to jail for the rest of your life. You're going to get charged with 2nd-degree murder, 3rd-degree murder, and manslaughter, and be bye-bye with the same guys that you were putting away for a long time. So we can all probably imagine how that's going to go in there and how long he may last. So I'm happy with it, but it's not anything happy really. It's a little bit of sense of joy that this thing could change. And so whoever that judge was, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Jury,
thank you,
all those guys.
everybody who was involved in that. Thank you. Hopefully you started something that this nation has never seen, and hopefully that they see a lot of it if this shit keeps going on. But I don't pray for that.
And it will.
It will, but I don't pray for that. I really hope that these people do get the right training and everything needed. But at the end of the day, we are all humans, whether it's a lizard or a bird or Travis or me.
They're not humans.
No, we all have lives. Lives matter. But
There
at the
you
end
go.
of the day, the human life, we are responsible for this earth. We're responsible for everything walking it. And we're the mains on this world. So we have to protect each other. Lions could get us. Anything in this world can get us. Any other creature, really, at the end of the day, we're susceptible to
COVID could get
anything.
us.
COVID can get you. But when we come together and we take a stand, we are able to fight the curve on COVID too. Like as a whole, as a person, as an American citizen, we can do anything in this fucking world. We can persevere through anything. And yeah, man, let's do that. Let's come together, keep this shit going, keep the movement alive, and be a stud, not a scrub. I hit the mic.